I think we're live. It's been last minute there. I got caught up in Megabonk big time. Let me know if you guys can hear okay. Just gonna set the audio. Okay, we're live. All right, we got there. We got Machi Locks. There we go. I think I pronounced that okay. welcome. Brilliant. Hell yeah. Lovely to see people in the chat. I'll just make sure it's open for me here as well, so I can also, tell that, time difference. I can see how far behind it is. Now, who else have we got in chat right now? I'm going to also put a post up on Discord as well. So let me just do that. Sorry, a few things just to set up. I'm a little behind. I just got Megabonk Misfortune like 2 or 3 days ago. Very dangerous game. And I was like, literally, I was on the biggest run I've ever had. And I just kept looking at the time. I'm like, I still got time. I started looking at it like about half past. And then it was like 35 past. And like, I was like, I can keep going. And I left it right till the last moment. So I do apologize. Hello, Eloy. Welcome. I'm so terrible with pronouncing names and things here. I'm so sorry. Now, let me do a little post here. Now. One post going up. Live stream giveaway. Hey folks, just going live right now. And we're going to do a big giveaway during this stream, which should be fun. Big giveaway this stream. There we go. Is that clickbaity enough? We'll see. Who can see this? All tiers, public, all members. There we go. Perfect. Publish. Woohoo! Done. How are people doing? Have you been playing Megabonk Misfortune? It's pretty hardcore. It's pretty crazy, I will say. How's the music, by the way? Can you hear? Oh, apparently it's not even coming up, the audio. So that's weird. There's no music. Maybe it's just so quiet. Hold up. Let me see if I can do something about that. Okay, no. It's all very loud, apparently. Huh. Oh, right. It has literally stopped. That's why. We got to loop it. Perfect. Okay. We're pretty set up. I need to do another post. And then we're good. I swear we can talk about cooking monsters in D&D. Hey folks, big giveaway today. Yeah. Righto. So who have we got? In chat? Make yourselves known, and I will be calling you out to ask you questions. Okay. And one last thing while I'm waiting for people. Hey, Black Knight. Hello. Welcome. What is that image? That's so cool. Fantastic. I forgot what I was going to do. It probably wasn't important. Oh, I was just going to have the chat open. There we go. Perfect. Got 8 people in chat. Hell yeah. Beautiful. Sterling, behold, I am here. Welcome, Sterling. How's it going? I'll turn down the music a little bit. Maybe it's a bit too loud. Okay. We are at 70% now for the Kickstarter. Sorry, you can't even see my face with the mic right up in front of my face like that. We're 70% away. 70% away. 30% away, which is crazy. Obviously it's gotten very slow and I'm like, I'm so nervous. I really hope that we can actually reach the goal, and I think we can. Other people are assuring me that we will, because there's a big influx of people who joined towards the end, like in the last 48 hours. So fingers crossed, we'll make this happen. And thankfully as well, we have some other YouTubers pushing this Kickstarter out. So I'm very, very excited to see where it goes, and we'll be super anxious all the way. Eli says 7k out of 10k is great. Thank you very much. Yeah, it is incredible how just the support that is coming through for this Kickstarter to like make it realize it's honestly incredible. And when I reached out recently, I was like, hey, can we put some comments in the actual page itself to maybe bring some traction to it and maybe get into like get more attention from whoa, Sam Lake, thank you so much. Jeez, oh my goodness, it's incredibly generous. Thank you very much, Sam Lake. Sam Lake has just recently become one of my hero goblins over on Patreon. Thank you so much. That's incredible. I love this dancing pair. I can't stop looking at it. But this weekend I'm currently drawing up your hero goblin, which is very exciting. I'll be doing a lot of drawing this weekend and have a massive video, by the way, coming out on Tuesday. This is probably, like, aside from live streams, I think this is the longest video I've ever made. The recording for it was, I had like 3 hours of video recording for this one video. I'm looking at as many anime as I can, mentally cover without going insane, and seeing which ones would like make the best. I'm putting them on a tier list and seeing which ones make the best D&D campaigns. And it's been very, very fun to put it together. I've hand-drawn images for every single anime to represent them on the tier list. It's just been a pretty intense project. I've ended up covering 50 of them altogether. And now I need to put all that artwork and energy as well into this Kickstarter, because we're getting very close to finishing. Does anyone have any questions in chat about the Kickstarter itself? Is there any food? Because I just put out a poll on my Patreon and put a quip out recently. There's a competition now actually on Patreon. You just need to be a free member, I think, to enter, or you can just comment on it if you can find the post on Patreon. But I've been asking people to submit their best ingredient or like cooking raw fantasy ingredient, and the best one on that post will be put into the book, which is very exciting, which is actually kind of like low key a part of one of the main tiers on my Patreon itself. So you can get a chance to thank you for the subscription, Tim C, thank you very much. So you can basically get into the book right now if you get the best comment. There's probably going to be quite a lot of comments to go through, but it's so much fun to see some of the amazing ingredients people have already submitted. Like, where is my phone? There it is. Is this the best? No, I can get it up here on my Googles. So let's just see Patreon. I'll have a look and see which ones are the some that just really stood out to me, I suppose. Can I not? No, that's weird. Okay, I can't look at quips here, so I have to go on the app. So let me go on the app, and I will read out to you some very, very fun, just a few that have really stood out to me recently. So let's go onto my quips. Whole brand new feature on Patreon, which is crazy. Okay, yeah. So this is the post. If anyone can find it. My ring light's kind of blinding you there. Sorry. But let's see. Let's look at some of the responses. Like, there's already new ones there. Quadri had a crazy one. This is this large parasite, and if you eat it, you can like dig into larger creatures than you and become a parasite and eat them. Crazy. This one's really, really cool. I thought this was such an interesting concept for an ingredient, and it's a hag's tear. So nearly impossible to collect. It's nearly impossible to collect one of these tears, but if you can collect a hag's tear, you can make a wish. But if you use the wish on anything selfish, you'll turn into a hag after 13 days. I thought that was crazy. That one is from Lord Booty Shorts. But that was just, it blew my mind. So many cool ones here. There was a really nice one earlier on as well. It was one of the first ones by Muffin Man, and it was True Sight Truffles. I love the narrative here for this one. It says they naturally grow in beholder layers and grant true sight for a moderate amount of time, and also flavorful in pasta. So I just thought that was beautiful. That was so wonderful and flavorful. Helena faces, I gotta make a hag cry. Hell yeah. I mean, how cool would that be for a roleplay moment if you could make a hag cry? That'd be crazy. Eloy says, so much hype for the tier list. Yeah, I'm really excited. I'll show you some of the drawings. There we go. There's so many of them. But let's see. We'll see if you can get them in chat, but maybe the delay probably wouldn't work here. But we got Berserk, Classic. I did a whole bunch of JoJo stuff. So this is Phantom Blood, the first season of JoJo. I did like a JoJo kind of like bonus round because JoJo is one of my favorite anime of all time. I don't know if anyone knows this one. Bonus points to whoever knows this one, by the way. This was a manga. I'll show you a bit closer there. This was a manga I found when I was like 9, I think. And it blew me away. There's like 4 of them. And then later on, when I was a bit older, I found the, not graphic novels, but visual novels of them, which were really, really cool. And then found out there's a whole video game and there's an anime and everything. If anyone can get it, I'm very curious if anyone knows or recognizes that anime. I'll show you one more time. There we go. Very cool one. Sterling says, are there rules for recipe fails? Not necessarily, though there probably should be. I probably should add recipe fails, but as of right now, there is like each ingredient has like a degree of difficulty to prepare, and if you hit different tiers on that difficulty chart, you'll get different effects. But if you get really low ones, it's not going to have a negative effect necessarily, but there might be actually more preferable effects on a lower DC. So some people, if they're using cooking supplies and things like that, can actually intentionally lower their DC, which is kind of cool, to like butcher meals intentionally to get cooler benefits. So yeah. Sterling says, will you turn into some kind of cook hag? I like that. Yeah, just turn into a chef hag. Maybe, if it wins, maybe. Elena's Faye says, read them a sweet fairy tale that should make them cry. I mean, yeah, to be fair, yeah, they're not sentimental. I suppose hags are sentimental, but yeah, like something like that, yeah, might just make them cry because it's too nice. Yeah. Eloy says, it's a shame it's only up to the JoJo's part 6. I'd really like to know the place for part 7. Me too. I'm waiting for part 7. I've kind of come to a point with JoJo where I've stopped reading the mangas because I just want to experience them as an anime. Because they've just blown me away. The animation, the colors and everything. I just love watching the anime, specifically the voice acting, everything. So I've tried to keep away as much as I can from Speedball Run because I don't want it to be spoiled. But I'm so excited for it. I know too much about it, but I don't know any like major spoilers, but I'm very, very excited. And I think if it was going up there from just what I know, it would just be like an S tier campaign. It sounds so much fun. Shadow God 212 says, I think I've seen the character, but I don't know the name. Yeah, so this anime is Dot Hack. This is Kite. He's kind of one of the poster boys from the show, but actually the first anime doesn't feature Kite. It features a different character. But it's a very, very fun show. I like it a lot. Okay. Let me get up the chat again here for myself. Yeah, so I can see y'all in the chat properly. Yeah, does anyone got any favorite anime that they think would be like a banger campaign? Also, as well, if you have any questions for the cookbook as well, let me know. This is kind of just a little live stream to kind of build some hype around it. And also, we're going to do a giveaway on this live stream. Make sure to tell your friends to tune into this live stream, because they'll also be able to, only one person can participate at a time, but if you have a friend that you're willing to share this gift with and they join this live stream and they enter, you know, there's a better chance that you're going to win. So do let them know. I'm going to start it here. I'm going to see if I can start it. This is my very first time doing one of these, so hopefully it works out. Let's see. Have I even activated the chat bot? No, I have not. But now it's active, maybe? Okay, we may have actually just butchered this whole thing for the giveaway. Okay, I think the chat bot is live. So now we're gonna go to, giveaways. There we go, perfect. And start giveaway. Let's see. It's working. Yes. Okay. So you can join this giveaway by typing !cookbook, all one word, to enter this raffle. Cool. Yes, perfect. Yeah, you'll be getting, if you win this, you'll be getting a copy of Break RPG. So right over here, I have 4 of these to give away. So we're doing one giveaway this live stream. Gonna see how this live stream goes. If we get a lot of people in, then we'll do this again for sure. But yes, have a look at Break RPG. Look it up. It's a beautiful, beautiful book. And I will be sending that to someone in the chat. Someone lucky in the chat will be getting their hands on that. So, yeah, I'm very excited to be giving some stuff away. Cool, excellent. See, nice to see some people popping their things in the chat. Popping their, entering the giveaway. There we go. Sorry, my brain is gone. My brain is just all Megabunk. I don't know if anyone else has been playing Megabunk. I would love to gush about it to someone, because it's such a good game. But it's just pretty much like gambling. It just feels like gambling, and it's kind of just terrifying how addictive they've made it. It's a very good game. Shadow God says, I'm excited to see the cookbook's contents. Well, bear with me. I'm going to go grab my iPad, and I'm going to share with you some of the artwork I've actually done for this cookbook. So bear with me. I'll be right back. Alright, we're back. So, let's have a look here. I'm going to show you some of the artwork that I've been working on. So far I've drawn over 30, well, I've definitely drawn a lot more artwork than just 30 at this stage, but just for the ingredients alone, I've come close to nearly 40 drawings just for the ingredients. So I'll show you some of them. Some of them you've probably seen already at this stage. Oh, there's well over 30. So let's see. I'll turn up the brightness a bit as well so you can see a bit better. But these are some, I don't know if you can see there from that angle. There we go. That works. So we've got some teas, herbal teas and smoothies. These are all the snacks that are going into the book itself. This is Treant sap. We've got, this is from Shambling Mound vines, myconoid mushrooms. We've got, this is this is from an elder oblex. This is like an oblex core, or oblex neutron or neuron or whatever. What's it called again? I've actually written the name down. Oblex nucleus, sorry. Nucleus, couldn't think of the word. We've got gelatinous cube. We've got some, this is yellow ochre jelly. We've got hydra steak. This is one of my favorite ones. This is a mimic's tongue. You've probably seen it around. Rust monster rust. We've got, this is a storm giant's eye. This is a fire giant's heart. This is a frost giant's toenail. Very iconic ingredient in Ghostar. This is one of the key ingredients for a Potion of Strength. You often find this translucent liquid with a big toenail floating around inside it. We have, this is a Balor's Fire. We've got, what are they called? Thorn Devil's Beard. This is all bunched up into a ball. We've got, what are you again? You're something. Stretch Ichor, I think this is. This is Hag's Hair. We've got Red Cap Hat. There's so many, guys. I can keep going. Like, there's so many. I'm gonna stop there because I'm not sure if it's boring or not. But I've been drawing like mad for this book. So I really hope it comes through. And it's all between myself and my partner. But those kind of like cutesy artwork pieces, they're my own artwork. My partner does a lot more rendering kind of stuff. Ugh. I have a dog hair in my mouth. Sorry. What are people saying here? Eloy says, I can't even win a coin flip. How could I win this? Well, who knows? We'll see. Hopefully the shipping isn't going to kill me when I send the book over, but give it a go. Matchlock says, curious, have you ever played Balatro? I have played Balatro. I got the hype. I understood the hype, but I didn't think it was good as Slay the Spire, which I played before. I think Slay the Spire is a better version of Balatro. Balatro is very satisfying though, and very addictive, but it was just lacking a little for me. I wanted a bit more meat to the story. In the end, it did feel kind of very robotic because it is just cards. In the end of the day, there's less personality to everything. Like with Slay the Spire, you're a character, you're a hero, gaining attack cards and all this kind of stuff, which I prefer. I prefer that vibe personally. But I think Balatro is much better for a more generic audience. But it is a masterpiece of a game for sure. Helena Faye says they're so cute. Thank you so much. Had me at coffee and pie, says Shadow God 22. Yeah, so there's a whole snack feature in this cookbook. So there's a whole side where you can make these quick bites. They're called quick bites or quick snacks or whatever they're called. I'm still deciding on a name, but the idea is they are small little things that you can eat as a bonus action in a fight. And they give you much smaller buffs, and they'll only last for a shorter amount of time, or just like an instantaneous thing like a healing effect or regain a spell slot or something like that. But they're fun. They're a fun little one. So that's what all those first ones were for. Black Knight says, love your art style. Thank you so much. I have many art styles. This is an art style I've developed specifically for this book. And it's been a really fun time just drawing in that particular way. It's crazy, we're at nearly on 150 backers now. It's nuts. So while we're on the stream, I actually haven't got many plans for the stream besides doing the giveaway. But happy just to answer any questions to while we're here. Or again, we can play a game. I could do some drawing, maybe. I don't know how I'd do that, how I'd do any drawing on the live stream. But whatever suggestions you have on what you'd like to do during this time, let me know, because it's just time I want to spend with you all, my followers. So Daniel Fazio says, just jumping in real quick to scream, I would eat a beholder, and damn, I will in the game. Amazing. The one thing actually is a little tricky with beholders is I think they are kind of locked. You can't add beholders to your game in third-party content. So I need to find out another name to use instead of beholders when I'm talking about beholder eyes specifically in my book. We had fun coming up with some ideas for that in the last stream, which is great. God, there's actually a really big lag here. Or is this? Oh no, my stream is just really far behind. Okay, that's fine. I was just looking here at the actual stream on my phone. I was like, oh my god, man, I've only gotten the iPad now. No, I'm wrong. Matchlock says, what's my favorite stand in JoJo? I think my favorite stand, so there's some really beautiful stands like stylistically, but I think in terms of just how they use their powers more than anything, I think Crazy Diamond or Shining Diamond or whatever. I think there's two names of it in Japanese and in the English. But that is probably my favorite one because for me, it really like gets it right, like on what a stand I think should be. It has that perfect level of scratch, like of itch, where it's a specific enough power, but it's also a flexible enough power that can be used in many different ways that make sense. So this stand, for anyone who doesn't know, in JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, everyone's got these kind of like spectral stands. Stand users specifically have them, so they're kind of rare. No one else can see them except for other stand users, and they have a unique power and ability, and they are the physical embodiment of your fighting spirit. So in JoJo, in the 4th season, called Diamond is Unbreakable, the main protagonist, who is actually a bit of a pacifist, until you insult his hair, then he'll beat the crap out of you. He's got an incredibly powerful stand, so they're really, really strong. They'll beat the bejesus out of you. But their unique power is that anything that they break, I'm pretty sure, or punch, they can distort, or they can basically put things back together that are broken. So they could do something like punch your face a bunch of times and then heal it wrong so that you look different. For example, another way they use it in the coolest way, they are riding a motorbike and they're about to crash into a baby in a pram being pushed by her mom. So he gets his stand to break the entire motorbike. All the pieces fall around the baby and then he reassembles it just before he kind of falls on the ground. He lands back on the motorbike and it's the coolest thing ever. But other stands then in like Golden Wind, for example, there's one where he can just kind of give life to anything, which is too powerful and too broad, I think, where he can just do these insane things. Like he can turn a brick into someone's liver and heal them with it, but then he could also turn a flower into a fly and then it'll, I don't know, go back to a flower pot from where he took it. And it's so abstract and strange. It's a really cool series, but I think it's a bit too strange. But then you've got very restricted stands that are kind of boring. Like, I do think, sorry, I'm just ranting now about JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, but I do think that, what's it called? Silver Chariot, which has just a rapier. It's a really fast stand with a sword, and it's kind of armored or whatever. There's no defined like power that it has. It is just like a knight with a sword that's very fast. So even then, that's like 3 things. Kind of, it's got a sword, it's very fast, but it's also got armor. But it's just kind of basically like it's just like a dude. It's just a guy with a sword. And that to me isn't kind of unique enough. You know, that's too bland and generic. So for me, the 4th season, the stands in the 4th season were perfect. They were like chef kiss. They were like brilliant. There's my rant on JoJo. Miss Fortune says, do you have any corpse flower related recipes? Do I have any corpse flower related recipes? I don't think I do. I'll write that down because that's a great idea. Yeah, I'll take note of that. I'll write it down here. Corpse flower recipe. I like that. It's very, very cool. I don't have it yet, I will say. Elena Faye says, do you have any food ideas for do you have I thought I read it wrong there. Have you got any food ideas for a few dinos in the D&D books? Interesting. Yeah, I do have a dino steak, like straight up. A dino steak is one of the ingredients in this. So yes, I do, 100%. And I did have some other dinosaur related things that I can't remember off the top of my head, but yes is the answer to that. Sam Lake says, eat the giant spider, pretend it's just a fuzzy lobster. I like that. I mean, yeah, it would be kind of like hard on the outside and prickly. I mean, lobsters are a little hairy anyways, and I wonder if spider meat would, like giant spider meat, would it taste lobstery? It would probably taste more gamey than fishy, or maybe, I don't know, it's a tough one to pinpoint that flavor, but I don't think it'd be the most pleasant. It'd be a bit icky tasting. It have a very potent flavor. And Daniel Fazer says, by the way, I will play an Illithid next campaign, and I really will be inspired by your book. And yeah, it is in AD&D. Oh, right, the whole thing is going to be in AD&D. That's crazy if you're playing an Illithid at that time. That's very interesting. So are you going to be like an Illithid chef who makes brains and mixes brains with different things? Like, oh, this is my brain soup or my brain steak. How would you like your brains made? That's fun. T-Dog says, question, hello T-Dog. How do you get or remind your players to eat food? How do you run eating mechanics? So it's a pretty good one. I suppose it's one that you discuss with your players outside of game beforehand. All this is going to be in the book itself, but the main thing it's going to be doing is it's going to be an event you can do while having a long rest. So it just adds something to your long rest. It makes it more interesting. People will come together with the ingredients they found in the past, day fighting monsters. Everyone can come in and contribute to the meal. So that's it. The short answer is that it's a long rest thing, and you just chat with your players. You're like, hey, I got this cookbook. We're gonna introduce some ingredients and some cooking mechanics in here. So whenever you defeat a monster, whenever they defeat a monster, you can reward them with ingredients from those monsters that they've defeated. And they can preserve them. There's preserving mechanics as well. Otherwise, if they don't preserve them, the thing goes bad in like a week usually, and loses all the magical properties that it has. But first off, you gotta start rewarding your players with these different ingredients so that they can actually have material to work with, so they can start cooking, and then they can start picking and choosing. It's like, okay, first of all, they're just going to want to cook the first thing they get, right? But as they collect more and more stuff, and I would say this, like, don't be shy about giving away lots of ingredients and things to your players, because it's kind of what you want. You want there to be an influx, and like give them too many things than they would need. So then they have the choice to cook them, and they're not going to start having that, hoarding mentality that I think you get when you get very few magic items. Like, we're going to save them all for the boss. You want them to be cooking every long rest. But then the difficult thing becomes choosing what to cook. What are we going to cook for this day specifically? And I think that's a better challenge to give your players, is trying to decide what to cook rather than should we cook, that's the place you want to be. Shadow God says, I've seen JoJo, but it seems like a fun time. I've never seen JoJo, but it seems like a fun time. It is very good. If you start, I often recommend watching the 4th season first, because the first season it's dated. It's dated compared to everything else, even though you kind of need it to get a good basis and some other things. But I wouldn't worry about it too much. If you're interested and want to give it a go, watch the 4th season and see what you think. That's my advice anyway. Miss Fortune says, isn't JoJo about hunting vampires or something? That's how it starts off. Yeah, 100%. So JoJo in the first season, and technically it's the second season. Some people will say it's the second part of the first season. But anyway, in the first 2 seasons, let's say, it is about hunting vampires. And then 3rd season, it completely changes, and it's about these stands, these kind of spectral beings that come out of people. And that goes all the way to the 6th season. But then after that, the writer, he resets everything. The entire universe gets reset, and then becomes a whole brand new world with the same characters, but they're like, it was very strange. Same characters, but like alternate timeline or reality, basically, where like one guy who was this big villain is now like the president of America, and it's now a Western, and there's kind of stands in it, I think, but everything works very differently. I don't know enough because I haven't spoiled myself. But Speedball Run changes up things completely again. It's such a creative show. It's just brilliant. Sam Lake says, sorry. For that, Eloy, you said, is there anything rocky or gemstone like in the cookbook? There is, yeah, lots of stuff. Lots of kind of construct stuff, like minerals and things. One of the biggest ones that comes to mind, I'll show you now, is this This is an elemental core. So this comes from any kind of elemental that you defeat. It's a core shard, which is a bunch of things. I can't remember off the top of my head. But yes, there is lots of gemstones and crystals. Some of them you can eat. Some of them you could, sprinkle in like a salt into your meals. Other things are good for cooking on or being made into cooking implements. So yeah, that's it in a nutshell, roughly. Sam Blake says, campfire cooking in another world with my absurd skill. Have you seen... Wait, this is an anime? Wait, no, I haven't. Hold on, let me write that down. Campfire cooking in another world with my absurd... That sounds so good. That sounds right up my alley. What is with this trend, though, of anime that have these, like, insanely long titles that are just a sentence? I love them, but also sometimes it's like, okay, you could also shorten that down. I appreciate it for the funny ones. Is this like a satire? It feels like a satire. The fact that it says with my absurd skill sounds great. Okay, absurd skill anime. I need to watch that. That sounds brilliant. That sounds absolutely fantastic. Shadow God says, do some of the ingredients expire after a while? Yes, I think I just mentioned that a little while ago. But yeah, so if you fail on your preservation check, which is something you can optionally do when you harvest an ingredient, you have to spend a little bit of money to preserve them. You have to have like oils or vinegars and things like that. But if you succeed on your check, then you preserve it forever. It lasts indefinitely. If you fail, though, it will expire after a week. That's just... I wanted to keep it clean and simple. But yeah, that's it. Let's see. Helena Fag. Oh, Helena Fag just joined. Yay. Oh, we've got a nice few people entering now, which is fun. Jesus is a JoJo reference. Lucarion, hello. What have you missed? I suppose we're talking about lots of ingredients in the cookbook. There is a, you might see it there. We have a, what's it called? Giveaway going on right now. So if you type in ! cookbook in the chat, you have a chance to win a break book right here. So get your hands on that. And we'll see who's the winner at the end of this stream. I think there's only like an hour on it, so yeah, you want to get your messages in before the end of the hour. Elena Faye says that is such a good anime. Blah, blah. Campfire cooking might be something really good for Gostar. Yeah, I'm gonna do some research. Let me look it up right now. Let's have a look at it. I'm curious now. Okay, let's see. What's it called again? Campfire. I hope this is real. Campfire. Oh wow, it's the first thing that comes up. That's kind of scary, right? Oh, this looks so beautiful. This looks so cute. Look at that image. That's so I love cooking anime. I mean, it's very questionable, but I am kind of a sucker for Food Wars. Even though I've forgotten how bad it is right at the start. But it's any cooking show. I used to want to be a chef, so I just love all this kind of stuff. It re-inspires me to continue cooking again every time I watch shows like this. And I love cooking. I love experimenting with food. But sometimes you can just get like caught up. I love this wolf. This wolf is beautiful. You can get caught up though in routines and just cooking the same stuff again and again. And so when you can, this looks perfect. This is exactly the vibe that I'm going for. This is crazy. But yeah, so the thing with you fall into these routines, but when I watch a show like that, it'll reinvigorate my love for cooking, and then I'll go and experiment with a bunch of new meals and add them to my repertoire, and then the whole thing happens again. You go through the whole thing where you're like, okay, now we'll keep cooking these meals again because they were so nice, and then you slowly kind of just fall into a routine again, and then you watch some cooking anime, and then you make some more new meals, and on it goes. But it's so easy to just fall into that routine and just go with what's easy, go with what you know, rather than looking up something new. But there is something good for the soul when you try out something new and you experiment. It's like any kind of craft as well, right? As long as you're having fun with it. When you're doing something, when you're creating something new, when you're just spending that time away from a screen, when you just dedicate a bit of time to crafting something beautiful, something savory, and it's even more wonderful when you're cooking it for someone else as well, I think. That's a huge one. And then you get to enjoy it afterwards. You get to eat it. I mean, eating it's also very good. It's a very good part of it, but I also just love the cooking process and, you know, figuring out a recipe, kind of making it your own as well, adapting it. Like most of the time now when I cook a recipe, like a new recipe or a new dish, I will be like, okay, I have an idea. Say like I want to cook something with hake. And I'm like, okay, I have an idea. I've got these ingredients. I've got like tomatoes, I've got hake, and I've got, let's say, aubergine. So I'll look up some ingredients with maybe all of them, with individual components. And then I'll be like, okay, I like what they're doing here with this recipe. I like this kind of thing that they're doing here with this recipe. And then I'll just combine all those things. And it's lovely to be at a stage of, you know, my cooking skills, I suppose, where I can make up these new recipes, kind of basing them on like what other people have made and taking inspiration from them. It's like any kind of form of art, right? You go, if you're going to draw a picture, you're like, okay, I'm going to look up some references. And before I would just follow a recipe when I was younger and stuff, but it's nice to be at the and then I got to a point where I didn't look up any recipes and I would just make stuff up, and that's also very fun. But when you get to the point where you're like referencing a few things and then like, okay, now I've got a recipe, and then the important thing is to write that down though, because it's very easy to forget what you did. But yeah. For Lucarian, it's cookbook, one word. So exclamation mark, cookbook, one word. I think you got it in the end. But yes, I think that's right. Maybe. What are other people saying here? Matchlock says, are you able to eat spirits, and how do you cook or eat them? Two creature types I've removed from this book are undead and humanoids, just because of the implications. So you won't find them in this book, I will say. But nothing's stopping you from adding them as well. I just don't want to add them to this book because it's not a vibe I want to go for. Even though, you know, you can argue like, hey, dragons are big sentient beings. They're very intelligent. They're even more intelligent than a human. Why are you putting them in there? But, we are humans in a non-fantasy world. So for us, I think it's a bit stronger. Also, humanoids are very varied. And therefore undead are kind of very varied too. It's just not a path I want to go down. Misfortune says, implementing monster foods in my world. You are? Oh, brilliant, cool. Royal armies feast on dragon meats before war, while a bandit would eat a mimic's tongue to ambush a person. That's so cool. Hell yeah. I've got a tribe in Gostar, and they specifically hunt drakes, which are kind of like pseudo dragons, I suppose, in this world. And they will take parts from them and eat them and consume them, and then gain dragon parts themselves. They'll prepare them in a very specific way. So some of these people will have big dragon arms. They might have like horns growing out of their head. They might have kind of dragony eyes, or they might be able to expel different breath attacks, which I think is super, super fun. Spirit Fox, hello, welcome. Says, I'm super excited to read through your cookbook once they ship. The moment that book comes together and I physically hold it in my hand and I know that is now on the bookshelf of other people, that will, even just thinking about that blows my mind, that a book I own is out there being used and being put on bookshelves by people. That just like, that is the coolest thing ever. It's very hard to comprehend, and amazing to imagine that I've only been doing this for 2 years or something, and that I'm at a stage now where I'm hopefully please I hope I get it out there. I hope I get a book out there. And that would be such a massive milestone. And this is such a great learning experience for me too, in terms of Kickstarter, because I do want to continue doing more Kickstarters. I've got more ambitious projects, but it was recommended to me and advised to me that I start with something smaller, that I maybe do smaller Kickstarters. Don't go the massive one. And I'm very glad I haven't gone with one of my massive projects yet, because there's already so much work involved in putting a Kickstarter together, and it's so scary. And I'm so glad I've done it now, even though I love this book. It's a very dear book to me. This is a very dear subject to me, and I'm putting everything I have into this book. But I'm glad it's not as huge a book as what I originally wanted to do as a Kickstarter, because I can give a lot more now to that book with the knowledge I've accumulated from this Kickstarter too. And I just hope I can improve every time. With each Kickstarter that I make, I hope I can make an even better product every single time. Yeah. And NFA, hello again, says it's on Crunchyroll. Oh, beautiful. In Aussie. All right. Not sure about other places. Well, I'll have a look. I'll definitely take a peek-see and see if I can find it. Shadow God says no space for that. Oh, sorry. You're explaining how to do the enter the giveaway. Perfect. Sam Lake says you definitely already have dragon-related recipes, right? Oh yeah, 100%. That was the first recipe I wrote, was a dragon stroganoff, which is on the actual Kickstarter page. We can see it here on the actual page itself. That was the very first recipe. I think I have it here, please. I hope I do. Yeah, dragon stroganoff right here. That was the very first one that I designed. So it's pretty basic too. So this is kind of bread and butter. But yeah, if you can kind of see here, let me see if I can zoom in. It's kind of hard to see. But yeah, if you get a DC 12, you first have to assemble all the pieces. So these also act like quest cards, right? So if you find this old recipe somewhere, you can now go out and you have to try to find some chromatic dragon meat, which is cubed. You need to find a portion of myconoid. Is that right? Yep. It has some myconoid, some mushrooms from myconoid. Diced into chunky pieces, and then one portion of ochre jelly, whisked until creamy. And those are your core ingredients for this recipe. Once you assemble them, and during a long rest, then you will make a survival check. Other people you can appoint people to be your sous chef as well to help you prepare this. And you'll all make rolls, or they can all help with your roll. And you make the roll, and then if you get a 12 on the preparation of this, a 12 or higher, will give you 20 temporary hit points if you eat this meal. So the next day, all of you are going out there with 20 temporary hit points. This also, recipe cards are the only recipe that have the previous abilities continue stacking. So usually when you roll an ingredient, say in this example here, let's say this was just dragon meat and you're cooking it. Maybe the first one will give you temporary hit points if you get a 12. If you get a 16, maybe it gives you the draconic resistance. And then on a 24, let's say your AC is +2. But they don't stack. So in this case, if you get a 16 or higher, you'll still get the 20 temporary hit points, but you'll also gain resistance to the dragon's damage type. So, and then at the very end, if you get a 24, you'll also again get a +2 to your AC. So massive stacks if you get higher. So recipe cards are very powerful, but they do have specific requirements, and you have to find the recipe card obviously as well. Or you can just find an NPC who knows this recipe, and then you find them the parts and you bring them the thing, and they cook it for you. So that's how the recipe cards work. And that was the first one I made, was a dragon one, 100%. And there's loads of dragon ingredients in this. And there's ways to just cook up generic dragon creature parts as well. So yes. Let's see here. What else has been said? Oh wow, lots has been said. Oh my gosh, where am I? I've lost track of the chat. Shadow God says, I'll be a taste tester. I love food. Brilliant. Spirit Fox says, I love cooking and see my friends and family enjoy them. Me too. I love cooking for people. Beautiful, beautiful. Sam Blake says, so no Spectre sorbet like in Delicious in Dungeon. I'm afraid not, but there is a recipe. Where is that? Is that on Canva? I have made a recipe for sorbet. Only it uses elemental creatures. So let me actually find that. God, there is a sorbet. I can't find it right now. I think I'll just get lost looking for it. But there is an elemental sorbet recipe. Yes, that is a thing that exists. We're gonna have a load of recipes as well. Like I've released a. Oops, sorry. Actually, I've got to zoom out here. There we go. I've released a cookbook as well on my Patreon, which you can purchase as well if you want to sample, like have a little taste sample of what the book will be. But I'm building on a load of stuff from that. So what's in the book there is going to be a small portion of like what's going to actually be in the Kickstarter. But this gives you a nice sample. This is kind of like the bases that I'm building off of. But in there is a sorbet recipe. There's going to be much more recipes in this book. Let me see here. What else have I missed in terms of messages? Spirit Fox says, if you want ghost related food, I'd recommend Delicious Dungeon. Yes, yeah, very true. Matchlock says, sorry I redid that same question, but could you cook memories? Whoa, okay, I haven't seen this message. I have heard you speak of memories being important. Interesting. There is a creature. I what did I do again with this? I've done this before. Yeah. Oh, 100%. It's the Oblex. So Oblex in D&D have this ability to steal people's memories. And if you eat an Oblex nucleus, you can gain memories of like someone that it's eaten recently. So you gain these random memories, which is super cool. I can't remember. There is a way to utilize it in other ways, but yeah, there 100% you can actually eat memories in this game. To answer your question, that's one way to answer it. And then FA says, if for some reason the cookbook doesn't go through, would you be able to release it later? Yeah, 100%. No, if this doesn't go through, I'm going to find another way to make it happen, I think. But I'm pretty sure, I'm feeling a bit more comfortable after talking to some other YouTubers that it will go through. Yeah. But I will find a way if it doesn't. I'll tell you that much. Eloy says, I'm definitely looking forward on implementing custom ingredients from my world to the cookbook rules. Hell yeah. I'm very excited to see how people change it too, because that's a whole, like, I think everyone kind of does that. Most people do that. No one's going to like copy and paste things from a book exactly. So much of that process, like to converting it to your own games, there's always going to be some homebrewing, right? So I'm very excited to see how people tweak and change the rules to fit their games a bit better. Very, very cool. I'd love to hear all about that later on. Lucarian says, by the way, I'm just going home from my grandma's birthday party. Oh, and then I'm going to be listening to some friends' poetry. What a lovely day. What a civilized, beautiful day. Well, I hope you have a wonderful time. That all sounds amazing. And don't worry about not being in the stream or whatever. Just go enjoy that day. That sounds like a beautiful time. Enjoy the poetry too. And then Faye says, what about tea plants that you brew? This is like the memory thing, is it? What about a tea plant that you brew and it makes you remember things from the past, ancestors or something? Ooh, that's cool. I kind of like that, like an elven tea, because elves, like, right, they're like recycled souls. So yeah, the idea that it's like a tea typically for elves, so they can revisit the memories of their past selves, but maybe other people can also benefit from it. That they can drink this and see a memory from a past incarnation of themselves. That's ooh. I'm gonna write that down. Incarnation tea. That's epic. That is so cool. Misfortune says, I know it's unrealistic for a fantasy world, but is there a pizza treat? Okay, so the way I've done treats, I've kind of played it a bit safe, where I've allowed it more for you to flavor them how you want. So I've got like sweet, savory, hearty, refreshing, energizing, and nourishing, I think, are the 6 that I've made so far for the snacks. But you could totally say, you know, the hearty one is a pizza slice. So yeah, 100% that is a thing that can be in it. So a big part of this book is I give you the tools, like I'll give you the mechanical benefits and things like that you can take from, say, cooking something that is made with a dragon. But then it's up to you to create the narrative on what that meal will eventually look like. So if you're making a custom meal specifically, so you're using some dragon meat, maybe you're using some plant creature in there as well, and maybe also an elemental. And so everyone's adding these ingredients to the dish, and then collectively you can all decide, as you all prepare the ingredient and as you kind of see the result and how well you've prepared it or not, you can decide what your element of that dish will look like, and then collectively you can decide on what this meal is that you have made together. So I'm very much a DM who likes to have lots of like random tables and kind of raw mechanics that I can play with and narratively spin and adapt to different games that I'm running. So by doing this, by keeping the mechanics flexible, it allows them to narratively fit into more stories and things like that, and allows you to put your own personal touch on everything that you create, which is what I want with this book more than anything. I hope that answers your question. Hope it's not a disappointing answer. But really good question. Thank you very much. Helena Faye says, or it grows near graveyards, near memories of the loved ones. Oh, that's so cool. Graveyard tea. Very, very cool. Hey, Bridge on the Lake, I have arrived for the giveaway. Beautiful. I've not had any answer yet from our previous winner. So I think I'm going to leave the spin the wheel maybe till the next stream, but you can still participate in this giveaway that's going on right now. But I don't think I'll do 2 giveaways, if that makes sense, this time around. I just want to give them a bit more time to see if they can see the answer. But 100% if our previous winner doesn't get back to me by the next stream, we will spin the wheel then, and we'll see if you've gotten the giveaway or not. But we'll see if you get it this stream as well. Thank you so much for joining, Bridge. Spirit Fox says, elves and tea sounds like a perfect combo. I like that a lot. Elven tea. Yeah, I said, okay, we're cooking some cool ideas here. This is very exciting. Any spicy snacks? Not yet. But I am leaving that open to... I'm going to leave the snacks as they are for now. I'm going to see how I get on with the book. And if I can pack some more snacks in there, I definitely want to add spicy. I would like to... Like hot, I think, would be one. Spicy would be another one. What other kind of snacks are there? Like, kind of like... something kind of along like greasy or something like that, you know, like something a bit bleh, or something that is too sweet and sticky and kind of gack. I want to add like a bit more kind of like funky ones like that as well, maybe even ones that are like sour as well. That could be a really fun one. So yeah, sour, hot, spiced, and what's the other thing I said? Greasy. Greasy snacks. I love it. Eloy says, elves having mind-related cuisines sounds so interesting. Yeah, I agree. It sounds very, very cool, actually. I'm taking notes. Lady Faye says, if I may, ancient Greeks did not eat modern pizza, but ate a flatbread called pakos. Am I pronouncing that right? Pakos? That resembled a primitive form of pizza, so it's not too far out there. I agree, and I think also just the idea of pizza in a fantasy world just makes so much sense. You got bread, put things on the bread, you know? It's like, it's not. I don't think it's absurd at all to have pizza in a fantasy game. At least that's my own perspective. Someone out there would be like, "Oh, cat, how dare you bring pizza into my historically accurate fantasy world?" Bridge on Lake says, "Still hoping for the day I get to play in a Goblin campaign. I will do my best to make a game happen this year. I still haven't run a game this year. It's just been one of those crazy years. I've moved house. We've had a lot of emotional turbulence. I won't get into the personal stuff, but there's been a lot of stuff happening. And then also obviously the Kickstarter, a lot of first times for things. So just mentally and physically, I just haven't been able to find time to like half time run my own games. I just can't keep up with myself this year. I don't know what is in this year, but it's just like been so busy. It's been crazy. But I really hope, I would love to have a game. That'd be wonderful. Minotaur Gravy, says Sam Lake. You can go ahead and decide how that would work. This gravy can find people out in mazes. It'll track them down. If you put the gravy on the floor, it'll go and follow other people in the maze. I don't know. Oh, maybe if you eat it, you can always know which way is the right way to go. It's like a clairvoyance gravy. I kind of like that. Spirit Fox says, "I put that. If you haven't put down an ingredient, I think you might have already put down an ingredient for the post that I made on Patreon. But if you put that down there, that's a really cool one." Spirit Fox says, and also if you want an ingredient, by the way, I should be pushing my Kickstarter here, but I'm pretty sure everyone here has already backed the Kickstarter. But that is a tier in my Kickstarter, is you can actually add an ingredient to the cookbook. I'll do artwork for it, do unique artwork for it. Let me go way down here actually. Yes, custom ingredients. You can have a custom ingredient made, and then we will work together as well to build a meal that is based around that ingredient and kind of like a mini quest and all that kind of stuff. We'll have a lot of fun with that one specifically, drawing up the artwork and stuff. I think that'll be a really wonderful tier to get if you want to add to the cookbook, if you want to contribute to it. But yeah, let's go back up here. Yeah. Where am I in the chat? There's still a bunch of messages coming there. Excuse me. Spirit Fox says, "I just thought you could add special dwarven spirits, alcohol infused with some other monster parts. Maybe even give you some buffs that they use." I really like that idea as well. I'm kind of working on it at the moment, like preservatives. Like you can spend, you don't have to spend any money necessarily to get like preservatives, but it'll be like, you spend 1 silver and you'll buy 10 enough preservatives to like preserve 10 ingredients. I'm just gonna write down some stuff here as well while we're chatting. But then you've got unique ones like that, like dwarven spirits that will add something to the ingredient. Like maybe it automatically gives you a +5 or -5 to the roll that you make when using up this ingredient. And it might also add another special thing, like the quality. The way I see it is the quality, the rarity maybe of the preservative will give you a certain bonus when you cook something with this thing. So let's say dwarven spirit is like uncommon and it gives you a +5 to your roll or -5 to your roll. And when you do that, you'll also get an additional effect in there because it's a dwarven spirit. Like maybe you grow hair, or it give you a +1 to strength or +1 to constitution or something until the next day. It just adds an extra additional free benefit to the meal that you make. So I really like the idea of preservatives specifically being a thing in here too. So yeah, really cool question. Really cool that you pointed it out. Yeah, Helena Faye says, I'd love to see minor effect changes based on the type of cooking techniques, using boiled, roasted, etc. That is fun. I think that is very fun. I think we got to do that. Mini game cooking. Fun ways to prep equals additional minor buffs. I like the idea like charring something will lower your DC on the thing. So if you're charring the thing, you're going to get really low results on the thing, but it might also add like a cool smoky effect to this thing. I don't know. We'll work it out. I'm doing so much work on like prepping things at the moment, and it is so much fun. I have so many notebooks full with concepts and stuff for this book. And obviously the artwork has been a lot of fun to do. I just, I'm trying also not to do so much for the book. Like loads of the book has already been written, but I'm at the point now where I'm like, okay, I need to cool down just in case this doesn't get backed. I think it will, but just in case it doesn't, I don't want to there's other things I could be prioritizing, at the moment. But as soon as this Kickstarter is done, and as soon as it's backed, if it is backed, please, all this is going to be, everything is going to be put into the Kickstarter immediately. All of those ideas are going to be taking shape, and I'm sure we'll be doing a lot of live streams too to come up with stuff together. That's a really, really fun one. Choosing techniques that you're going to use when you prepare the thing. I think that's really, really fun. Like sashimi, specifically cutting it up to eat it raw. I think that's a really fun idea. Bridge on the Lake, hear me out. What if when fire jinkin that cross over into an area with really dense nature vegetation, a bit of the energy from the plane of fire crosses over with them and you get spicy chili peppers? I think that's really, really cool. This is awesome. This is a really cool idea. I love the idea of just like elemental infused foods, like, a lightning orange or something like that, or literally like a fire pepper. There's something about the simplicity of that is just such a satisfying thing that makes my brain go like, that's nice. Like, it's such a common trope, like a fire pepper. Like if you eat the pepper, it's got fiery effects, right? Or like protects you from colds or something. Those really, like those bread and butter kind of mechanics, there's something just really nice and grounding about them, because immediately my brain's like, this makes sense, this is fun, I love this. And then it allows you to also add the really fun, freaky stuff in there too, to make them feel even more special. So I want to find a nice balance with this book of some really crazy things and then some really grounded ingredients that just are enough to make a world feel magical. And then Bridge says, continuing on that, says, which would lead to berry bushes mutating and growing spicy, sweet fruits. There we go. Perfect. Yeah. How long have we got left in this? Probably don't have long left in the giveaway, by the way. So make sure you get your giveaway in before it's gone. Shadow God says, would we be able to use specific meals, snacks, or whatever to lure creatures and monsters? I like that idea a lot. I think that is definitely something that could go into the chef class if we get that. I don't know if we'll get that tier. That is a stretch goal, but we'll see. If we get like really close to that stretch goal, I'll seriously consider adding the chef. I don't want to say any like confirmed things, but I'm pretty sure I'd love to add a chef class to this book. So we'll see how well the Kickstarter does, and so we make sure we can afford the artwork and all that kind of stuff. Or the time to dedicate to making the whole chef class, making loads of artwork for it. There's lots of things I have to also consider when adding a new thing to the book. It's like, okay, got to do the artwork for it, got to dedicate this many pages. Adding pages to the book also ups the price of the book when it's eventually printed. All these things are like things I never began, like even considered before starting a Kickstarter, but there's so much to consider when you just add a new thing. And it's so easy to be like, yeah, we'll add this, we'll add all of the things. I need to just pull it back a bit just so I can make sure that live up to all the promises of the book. I don't want to be like a classic game dev kind of guy, be like, we're gonna have all these things in the game, not to worry, and then you're like 3 years down the line, you're still making all those things and trying to add them all. I want the book to be like accessible to people as soon as possible as well. I don't want them to be waiting too long for it. But yeah. Sam Lake says, can I only add one ingredient in that case? In terms of the tier, you're going to be building a recipe and you're going to be adding an ingredient, but maybe if we're making a recipe, you know, it could, because it's such a rare tier, we could add a few other things. I think we're going to be pretty flexible in that regard to adding ingredients and things. So we could add like 3 ingredients with just between you and me. We could add 3 ingredients for sure, I think. And what those 3 do when they come together, I think that's a really fun idea. Misfortune says, in the post open to everyone, couldn't find it last time. Is the post open to everyone? It is a quip, so you might not be able to find it on a browser, but if you have the Patreon app and you go to the quips that I've released, it's the most recent quip. It's not a post necessarily, just so you know. This is as well if you want to submit an ingredient, and that ingredient will actually be in the cookbook. I've put that on Patreon if you want to find that quip. Lucarian says, wait, why does the boss have a health bar? That's a thing I added. I just thought it'd be fun. I was looking at like I was doing polls and things on Streamlabs, and I saw that you could add a boss battle to the stream. So I was like, sure, I'll add that in. And if people subscribe to the channel, the health goes down, and you can eventually kill them. And then whoever lands the final blow, I think, to the boss becomes the boss, and then everyone else has to beat them. I might lower the health next time, just so you can bring it down a lot more. But yeah, doing things like that should apparently lower its health, but maybe it's got far too much health. Helena Faye says, a misspell could form alcohol elemental that can have the party fight. Oh, that's kind of cool. If you accidentally shoot a spell off and it hits something else and then turns into an alcohol. I mean, I like the idea of an alcohol elemental. I think that's really, really fun. That it just like intoxicates people while you're fighting. I think that's really, really cool. T-Dog says, I have a player with a bag of holding, and I believe it preserves food. Any ideas for balancing this? My player has collected every food we have ever found. I mean, I've just seen like people, even like Matt Mercer, has just not listened to that rule, I guess. I think one thing that you could balance there, if you're using magical ingredients, for example, sure, it can preserve the food, but the magical essence, if it's not preserved correctly, will expire in a week. So it's not just the food that will go bad, it is the magical essence of the food as well. It'll all be gone after a week, and I don't think a bag of holding can. Sorry, Blue is digging to China down there. Hey, Blue Star. What are you doing? You digging? Do you want to come over here? Hey. Sorry, Blue is here. Hello, Blue Star. Hey, baby. What are you doing? Just take a little nap down there. Yeah. Sorry, where were we? Yeah, I think that would be my advice, is just for these specific ingredients, is that it's a good question actually, that the magical potency or the properties of them will go away. Samurai Knight says, just got here. Hello, Samurai Knight. Are we going to see a food with many different options like pizza? As you can have meat lovers, cheese, etc. Absolutely, and you could absolutely bake pizzas too yourself. I think there should definitely be a pizza base or something that you can make and then add other ingredients on top. I think that's a really fun idea. T-Dog says, I love the artwork and the goblin theme. They're my favorite race. I love goblins. My love for goblins has grown more and more with age. It's something that it's an acquired taste. I adore them. I adore them as a creature. I think there's so much potential for stories and everything else. Misfortune says, have the player find food half eaten in the bag. Ooh, yeah, that's another fun one, especially if you're doing some Halloween games. Add a bagman to your game. So bagmen are the story of the Bagman is a wizard with his party. They were in a really dire situation. All the party members were taken out, and the wizard, who was in possession of the bag of holding to escape the fight, crawled into the bag of holding to get away, and then couldn't ever find their way back out of that same bag of holding, but ended up in like a dimension that is connected to all of the bags of holdings that exist out there. And so has become this strange creature. And then every now and then there's a chance that when you reach into your bag of holding, something else will grab you back. Or potentially you've got your bag of holding, you know, at the end of your bed, you all go to a tavern, you sleep that night, and something crawls out of the bag of holding that night. But that idea of building up to that would be really fun, like seeing things are nibbled in the bag, or completely gone. They've just stolen things. Anything edible that's been put in the bag has been eaten, with only like apple cores and stuff remaining, which is a very fun idea. Oh, someone already has said Bagman. Oh my god, amazing. Beautiful. How are we doing, by the way, with the raffle? Have we got an answer yet? Oh, the raffle is closed. Okay, it has closed. Let's see. How do we announce the winner? Let me see. Let me figure out how to do that. Okay. The thingy is closed. So now, winner. Okay, hold up. It's my first time doing this. Okay, so 9 people have entered. Is that correct? Okay. And now we do something to announce this winner. Pick winner. Oh, there we go. Lucarion, you have won. There we go. It's just randomized. Okay, cool. Lucarion, congratulations. Well done. Fantastic. You will be sent a Break or PG book. Thank you so much for participating. I will get in touch with you on Discord. I'm pretty sure that's probably the easiest way to talk about this, but I'll give you a message on Discord and we can talk about how we can send that over to you. Fantastic. Hell yeah. Congratulations. Amazing. Sorry, Bridge. I know you joined again to the stream to win, but it will come. Your day will come for sure. Also, Spirits Fox has said, and you mentioned playing D&D. I'm finally getting to play tabletop D&D. I'm excited and thank you. Oh my god, amazing. Congratulations. That is awesome. That is so lovely to hear. Bridge on the Lake says, oh, or it could be something you wouldn't expect, like a fiery snap peas emit puff smoke. Oh, I love that. Let's go back to the fire elemental entering and everything. That's really, really fun. Damn. Hell yeah. Well done, Lucarion. Congratulations. Oh, gosh. So thirsty from talking so much. I'm just reading a random, message here out of context where Spirit Fox has just said, I'm imagining soup in a potion bottle. I don't know what that's in relation to, but that's so funny. There's always next time, Bridge. Absolutely. Always next time. Thank you for joining, obviously, to the stream every time. I really appreciate it. Gosh, we have a lot of how much longer on the Kickstarter, asks Sam Lake. We have 13 days to go. We are 13 days away, and Halloween night is when this Kickstarter ends. So those last 48 hours are going to be pretty good, pretty intense. We're pretty much at the halfway mark right now. So we're doing pretty well for a halfway mark. Hopefully there's some more kind of momentum, because obviously a lot of momentum has kind of slowed down here. But yeah, fingers crossed we get a nice bit of momentum and we can bring some hype and maybe get a few stretch goals as well along the way. That'd be incredible. Helena Faye says, if you can't add in stretch goals from not being able to reach them, if you were to make them later as PDFs and sell them as standalones, I would buy them 100%. I'll keep that in mind. 100%. Yeah, we'll see time-wise, but absolutely. And I'll put out posts if I do say, like, don't add them into the book and add them in to, like, Patreon, for example. If I sell them as a PDF on Patreon, I'll let people know 100%. That's probably the best place to keep an eye out for them anyway. But yeah. Let's see here. Let's answer a few last questions before we come to the end of the stream, because I don't know, I've just been talking so long. I feel like my head's gonna explode. So before I burn myself out. Has anyone got any last questions? Also, hello, Humble Gallipot. Welcome to the stream. You've just missed our giveaway, I'm afraid. Also, Samurai Knight, hello. Grandmother's soup from Wind Waker. Anything special for Halloween? For me, personally, we are dressing up Blue as a ghost. I bought equipment to dress up as ghosts. We're going to watch some scary movies. I am not a scary movie person, but my fiance, she loves scary movies. So we're going to watch some scary movies. Gonna make some pumpkin themed stuff. My fiance actually tonight is off at some friends' houses. Friend's house. They're having like a Halloween party tonight, but I helped her make some pumpkin pie. First time we made a savory pumpkin pie last week, and everyone was bringing like different food bits to this party. So she's brought a sweet pumpkin pie, and there's some batter left in the fridge. We're definitely gonna, if like we enjoy this pumpkin pie, we're definitely making that. I think we're gonna do a bunch of cooking. I think that's gonna be the most fun to do. But I think the big thing, we're just gonna watch a bunch of scary movies, have a bit of a spooky time. Obviously as well, my Kickstarter is gonna be finishing on Halloween night. So I'm just gonna be staying up all night probably, doing a bit of a marathon. If anyone's around, if that's something people are interested in, I could set up a massive Halloween stream and we could play some spooky games, maybe some cooking games or something like that on the stream, and just do like a bit of a marathon if that's what people are interested in. Something like that could be also kind of fun. Let me know if that's a yay or a nay. But I'm sure everyone's gonna be busy at Halloween anyway. I don't know if many people are gonna be tuning in, but yep. What else are people asking or saying here? Oh, thank you, Super Simon. I wish you all the great Zuyoi. Am I pronouncing that right? Zuyoi. That's what I've been saying in my head the whole time. But yeah, I might be wrong. Bridgeland Lake says, Goblin, here's an idea. If you were in a party that just killed a no longer immortal god-like entity, how would you cook it? I think, Bridge, I'm going to be straight with you right now. I think that needs to be in the cookbook as quest hooks that should be in the cookbook. One of them should be that you can base a whole campaign around. How do you cook a god and eat it? And what does it taste like? I think that's gotta be in one of the quest hooks, or campaign hooks for this book. How to eat a god. I'm writing it down. Quest hooks / campaign hooks. I'm not going to tell you the answer because this is going to be in the book. How to eat a god. Beautiful. Thank you very much. Now, Ghost Puppy. What? Why is there a Ghost Puppy all of a sudden? Eli says, I would love to see some Ambrosia as a cook, god-like feature entities. Ambrosia is a great idea, actually, yeah. That should definitely be an ingredient. Taken from angels and gods and things. There is a unique ingredient in here for an angel's will. Not an angel's soul, but an angel's will. and stuff that you can do when you cook an angel's will and what happens when you cook an angel's will. So there's definitely a path that you can follow there. Oh my god, this sounds amazing, Bridge. This is Helena Faye. Absolutely, it does. Halloween stream is a yes from Sam. Bridge and Lake says, me and the boys gonna go cook and eat a god. Hell yeah. Very Dungeon Meshy vibes, where they've got to go cook and eat what's her name so they can revive her. It just sounds, yeah, that's such a Dungeon Meshy is crazy. I won't say anything because it's a bit of a giveaway. Lucarian says, boss, why boss bar? Yeah, I don't know why. Maybe I'll get rid of the boss bar. I thought it was a fun little thing, but doesn't really do anything. Anyway, I think we're gonna leave it there, folks. It has been so lovely to chat to you all. Thank you all so much for tuning in. If you could do me the kindest little favor and share around the Kickstarter with people that you know. Maybe leave a comment somewhere on the Kickstarter to build some momentum on it, so that we can like have it seen by Kickstarter, so they see like, hey, people are seeing this, people like it, so that we can eventually maybe get on the Kickstarter's favorites list, and that can be shared out to more people. That would just be incredible. But yeah, thank you so much for joining. I don't know when to end this stream, because last time I ended it abruptly. So we're going to give it like a few minutes before I end it. Okay, I think that's probably enough time. Thank you so much for watching.